Well, hello my fine gardening friends, how are you? Let me introduce myself. I'm the Optimistic Gardener. You may have seen a few videos of mine in the past. Not been doing many lately, a bit of a long winter, and I've been off writing books. So I've not been paying attention as early as I should in spring to my garden. And as this is a gardening channel, I thought I'd better get amongst it. So I have, what are we? What's the date? The date is March the 15th. So I've decided I better get amongst it and sow some peppers and things. So that's what I'm going to do today. Also, I thought I'd show you my sort of some success, some not success, keeping it real as we should do in the garden, especially on these channels when we're allegedly influencing people, of my earliest seeds that I sowed, like a salad bowl, which is a bit of a success so far, and just some early spinach and rockets and some salads, etc., which you know, they've all germinated, but I've neglected them down in our playroom, which has got a south-facing bay window, but I've just left them and I haven't watered them properly, and it's rather cold in there. So there's a difference between, and they're both sowed at the same time. So the difference between these salads here, you know, lots of different lettuce, that's growing on nicely up in the kitchen on a south-facing windowsill, and once they get a bit bigger, I'm just going to cut them, take them, and they'll be good for 6 weeks or so. And these ones, I was going to plant, if you'd seen the video, I'm still going to plant in my greenhouse here, in my central bed, which, as you can see, I've had a nice bit of black cloth over it for the last month or so, and warming that bed up nicely, and it's nice. The soil is nice and warm now. Just watered it, and even though these are a bit small and a bit leggy, I'm going to plant them in there because I think they'll do better in the central bed, and I'm going to put a little mini greenhouse around each one of them. I think they'll do better in there than they are on the windowsill. So I'll do that in a minute. But you know, it's a bit of spinach there. They're okay. And the little ones here are rocket, or what do you call it? Arugula in North America, don't you? And these are salad bowl. But you know, they might be a bit leggy now, but I'll just plant them a little bit deeper, and they'll be all right. No worries. And it's absolutely lovely in here at the moment. The weather's obviously up and down here in Nova Scotia at this time of year. Due snow tomorrow. But it's really warm in here, and I actually don't even need this jumper on. So lovely and warm today. So the nice longer days now, if I put these out, they'll soon get themselves going. I've got some nice soil in there, some well rotted horse manure from last year I've used as a mulch. So that'll be excellent, and they'll romp away, no worries. So in fact, let's do that now, shall we? So I have given this a bit of a water, though it was nice and damp actually underneath, and it's not frozen at all now. As I said, I've had the black cloth over it, and it's been nicely warmed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my seedlings, voila, and plant them up, and then I'm going to take these little mini greenhouses that I've made out of cut off water bottles, and I'll be using these for the next few years to come. So trying to keep it sustainable, and I'm just going to cover them so that they got a nice little bit of extra protection over the coming nights, which we're going to still have lots of frosts over the coming period, and your greens don't actually mind a bit of frost, but anything, as you can see by that salad bowl, if you keep something warmer, obviously it's going to grow better. So here we are. What we've got here, we're going to do the lettuce first, and like I said, carefully take them out, handle them just by the leaves. Like I said, they're a bit leggy, so I'm just going to plant them a little bit deeper. Plant them just about up to their leaves. Really, you don't want to be moving your seedlings until you see the first set of true leaves. So let's have a look. Yeah, see if I can show you. So I've just about got the first set of true leaves. Where are we? There. I would normally leave it a little bit longer, but like I said, why not just put these in here? They're going to do just as well as hanging about on that cold windowsill at the moment, and I'll keep neglecting them. So I shall put them in here. I'm going to put them in quite close because this is nice and fresh compost, lots of nutrients in there, and they're only going to be in here for, what are they going to be in here for? What's it now? March, probably 2 months, and then I'll be putting tomatoes and peppers etc. in here anyway. So let's put these in quite close, like I said. And with the extra protection, keep them nicely watered now, they'll be fine. I hope. But I'll be keeping you guys in on their progress anyway. Right, let me carry on. I'm just going to do exactly the same with the spinach and the rocket and the salad. And we'll plant them up, cover them up and see how we get on. Be right back. And then we're going to do some sowing of seeds of the peppers. Voila. Right, so that is that lot done. We've got the, what have we got? Salad bowl, lettuce up there. Then we got a bit of spinach. Then the rockets, and then another load of lettuce here. Now I've covered the majority of them with the little mini greenhouses, but I've left a few of them out, and I thought I'd do that to see a bit of a control, to see, you know, what is the difference between giving them a little bit more protection and not giving them a little bit more protection. So we'll see how that gets on. And I'm going to sow another load of lettuce, etc, etc. Well, probably tomorrow, or might even later on. And then in another 3 or 4 weeks I'll sow some more as well, so that we've got, you know, I've got a good load coming now, and then I can they can grow up, and then the next ones can be just a little bit behind me, so I'll have a nice little succession, as we say, of lettuce going into springtime. And then the later lettuce that I sow, I'll be sowing outside, because you sort of lettuce, they don't want it too hot because they'll bolt, you know, i.e. they'll start to try and flower. But at the moment, this is a good, nice bit of protection for these. So I should really do a bit of sowing of peppers now, shouldn't I? Because they've got a bit of a long season. Let's have a look at what I've got. Hello again. Right, that's them sorted now, so hopefully in a few weeks we'll have some nice tasty salads. Well, we'll definitely have it from this little bowl anyway. Okay, so we're doing peppers. Peppers need a long growing season, hence, and we haven't got a long growing season here in Nova Scotia, so I want to start them as early. I would normally even start them a little bit earlier than now, but as I said, I've been off authoring and trying to market my new book. Obviously you can see the picture of it there. Get it in all local Amazon online stores in whatever country you're in. A ripping yarn. Okay, so I've got peppers. I've got a mishmash of different peppers here. Some from my own grown, so these are from last year's plants. These are Mad Hatter. These are great little peppers. A profusion of these, lots of different peppers, and they're not called Mad Hatter because they're hot or anything. I think it's just the shape of the actual pepper themselves, but lots and lots of sprays of peppers. A really good doer, I would call that. Hot salsa blend with just a mix of all different ones. some jalapeno. Always got to have some jalapeno. Always good. They are. And I've got, what else I'm going to put some of these. These are cheeky ones, aren't they? Habanero. They're a bit cheeky, they are. But we'll see how they go. Bit of a bad year with peppers and chilies last year. I had a bit of trouble with whitefly. Didn't get amongst it early enough, and all the way through the season I was forever getting problems with them. So I'm going to try and keep on top of it this year. Obviously you don't want to be throwing non-organic sprays or anything like that on there, so I'll have to look earlier, so I haven't fully confident in what I'm going to use. But any ideas from you chili and pepper connoisseurs, give me a shout. Anything against whitefly. Right, so, but normally I have a good year. So what are we going to do? This is my mix of basically sieved leaf mould. Really good. I'm not using any peat, anything like that. We don't want peat based compost. So this is a nice easy sieved leaf mould mix. Doesn't have a lot of nutrients. I've said this before. Seedlings don't need a lot of nutrients for the first few weeks, so this is perfect for that. Drains really well, but there we go, and lets the seeds get themselves in there. All I'm going to do, I've pre-watered this box. All I'm going to do is just run a few drills. Got that Mrs. F's out there with the wheelbarrow doing some garden tasks. She's a good lady. What, Mrs. F? So, there we are. Basically just a few drills, just a few mils deep. Nothing particularly much because, as a rule, your peppers and chili seeds are small. And I'm just going to run a few down here. And I'll thin these out because I've got literally loads of these seeds. Right, so that is the Mad Hatter. Let me write that. Mad Hatter. And I'm just going to touch them in, make sure they're nice and firm. Good contact with the soil, which is what we want. I'm going to cover these with a few mils of compost anyway. Right, I shall, you don't want to see me doing all of these. As you can see, I've just literally pressed them into the drill. And the drill I'm using more really just as an alignment tool to make sure, you know, I know that all my Mad Hatter seeds are in that line there. So I'm going to go through and do the rest of these, and I'll come back to you in a minute when I've done them. Right, that is that lot done. I've got one and a sort of half tray here. I've done another tray here which I've actually already covered. And I've got pencil mixed hot chilies, California Wonder pepper, Monet is like a jalapeno pepper, Marconi F1 red, habanero, hot ones, hot salsa blend, some jalapenos, 2 rows of jalapenos, and some Mad Hatters. So nice. So like I said, I'm just gonna give them a bit of just a slight covering with some more leaf mould. Always brings a smile to my face using the leaf mould, to think, you know, that they were all the leaves that were surrounding my property. No, there's no miles on these bits of earth, whatever, turned into nice organic soil. Know where it comes from. And it also brings a smile to my face because it's springtime and we're sowing seeds again. So again, I'm just going to give this a little firming down. Make sure all the seeds are in contact and covered. There we go. Et voila. I'm just going to bring this in the house now, put it in a warm room, let it let the seeds germinate in a few weeks' time. It always take a few weeks, the old pepper seeds, but they'll come a few weeks' time, and then I'll have again in my playroom down there on the south facing windowsill just for a couple of weeks. But over there I am making my hotbed. I'm just about to start going down the old stables to start getting loads of fresh horse manure to fill that corner up there and make a hotbed and a little sort of hot greenhouse, which even on the coldest spring days should do nicely for my little seedlings. That'll take me a few runs to sort that out, and might as well do a little video on that. You can have the smell as well. Everyone likes a bit of horse manure, don't they? Right, there we go. Spring is here. Videos are going to be coming out now every week, or even twice a week, like I normally like to do. Lots and lots of things to be doing. So glad to be back in the greenhouse. So glad to be back in the garden. Still a nice sunny evening, although I can feel the chill coming now the sun has gone away. But hey, spring is here-ish. Longer days with the clocks going forward, and I'm happy. And job is definitely a spring good 'un.